So I just want to make a couple comments about the gerrymandering that's happening in Texas. It's ridiculous. The options for the Democrats make no sense whatsoever. The GOP doesn't like to play fair. They want to issue a bunch of arrest warrants for over 50 lawmakers. And then the governor even is trying to put felony charges against them for bribery and for something else. Bribery and I don't know, dereliction of duty or some shit. This is democracy. This is how democracy works. The option makes no sense for Democrats. So they're going to arrest the Democrats, force them to go back to the House, and sit for a vote that's going to gerrymander Texas in favor of the Republicans. Why would any Democrat do that? Why would any Democrat do that? And the arrest warrant, just because you're not sitting in a chair? Hey, you're not sitting in a chair. Well, we're going to arrest you, and then that'll be how we enforce democracy, by cheating the system and gerrymandering the districts, so that way we can fuck over the Democrats, draw up the maps in such a way that Republicans get a majority, so that way the midterm elections, which is going to be an onslaught, make sure the Fuhrer gets to keep his genocidal Epstein power. Make sure the Fuhrer keeps his genocidal Epstein power. So I just want to actually break down the legalities of all this shit, because on one side, the Democrats in Texas are doing precisely what the Texas Constitution says that they get to do. You have Rod Welsh. A guy named Rod Welsh is the Texas House Sergeant of Arms. So it's actually up to this one fucking guy. Was he appointed? How did he become the Sergeant of Arms? I remember when Al Green was taken out, it was like, who the fuck are these people? So they're appointed, they're hired, right? They're not voted for. So Rod Welsh, it's up to him to arrest all the Democrats. It's on the Sergeant of Arms and the deputies to go into Illinois and to Texas and wherever the Democratic lawmakers are, to arrest the 50 Democrats who are breaking the quorum. Like I said, the Constitution of Texas allows the Democrats to do that. The Constitution of Texas says you need 2/3 of each house in order to have quorum. That means you have enough people in order to pass legislation. If you don't have 2/3 of the Senate, you don't have 2/3 of the House just at the damn meeting, well, that breaks quorum, and then they can't pass any legislation. The Republicans are a bunch of fucking cheaters anyways. If you're going to be willing to gerrymander and issue all these fucking bullshit arrest warrants, why not just go ahead and pass the fucking thing? Break the fucking quorum little statute of the Constitution. Who gives a shit? You're the Republicans. You're just a bunch of criminal fucks who wants to break the damn rules. You don't give a shit about fairness. You don't give a shit about democracy. You want to make sure that you cheat when it comes to the gerrymandering, and then you want to cheat the Democrats of their constitutional power. So just fucking cheat and do the fucking gerrymandering yourself. You got the majority, then do it yourself. The GOP doesn't know how to work well with others. You know, I have seen a couple of these scenes. I remember you had just a whole bunch of people, leave for quorum before, when it was in, 1940s Germany. So it makes no sense for the Democrats to sit in a chair, so that way they have, legitimate power to fuck over the Democrats. It makes no sense for the Democrats to do that. It makes more sense for the Democrats to not sit in that chair. And if they're in Texas, then they can be arrested by Rod Welsh. That's a lot of, power for one fucking guy. Rod Welsh? Who the fuck is Rod Welsh? And then, like I said before, when it comes to the Constitution versus the House rules, so they're going to say, oh, well, actually, we're allowed to do these civil arrest warrants. Civil arrest warrants are just bullshit arrest warrants where you don't get fined, you don't get any charges, you don't get caned, you don't have any, corporal punishment whatsoever. The only punishment is they'll apprehend you and then take you to the House and force you to sit in a chair. So Texas Constitution, Article 3, Section 10 says you need 2/3 of each house to get a quorum to do business. But what they're relying on with the civil arrest is House Rule, House Rule number 5, Section 8. So if you're just to say which law is more powerful, the local House rules that the damn, representatives came up with themselves just to govern, their little body there, versus the Constitution, what the Democrats in Texas are doing is constitutionally sound. What the Republicans are doing, they're going to say, well, this House rule or some shit says it's okay for us to do what we're doing. Does it come from the Constitution? You're not constitutionalist. You're a bunch of law-breaking criminal motherfuckers, a bunch of Epstein fucking war criminals doing a bunch of genocide. Give me a fucking break. You're going to try to cheat the people of Texas by gerrymandering, and then you're going to try to get Jasmine Crockett and Al Green out, right? So you're going to do your damnedest to make sure that when the midterm elections come down, that the midterm elections goes in favor of the Fuhrer, even though people are pissed off about how things are actually going on right now. So when it comes to the Constitution versus House rules, what is more powerful? The Constitution is more powerful. The Constitution is the foundational, fundamental law of the entire state of Texas. So what the Democrats are doing is constitutional. What the Republicans are doing, it's smoke and mirrors. They're absolutely right that it's a bunch of smoke and mirrors. You're going to try to tell me that Rod Welsh is going to go to New York and Illinois, and then he's going to get 50 lawmakers to come back? And then the idea of if they stay in Texas, they get arrested. If they leave Texas, they don't get arrested. So that seems you shouldn't fucking stay in Texas. Break the quorum, stay out of Texas, because what the fuck would be the point of that? Get humiliated, get drugged to your fucking seat, and then when they have enough people to do the quorum, then they can fucking break the rules to get gerrymandering in? So the Texas House Sergeant of Arms, he can get some deputies, and then sometimes they do work with the DPS, the state police of Texas. So Texas DPS could be getting involved in arresting a bunch of Democratic lawmakers. I would hate to think that the Civil War actually breaks down upon partisan fucking lines, because the Democrats are right-wing fucking conservatives and the Republicans are batshit crazy fascist, Epstein or fucking genocidal fucks. So that's not enforcing democracy. That doesn't make any sense at all. It just says you hate the Democrats. You really, really hate the Democrats. And then the hypocrisy of the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, old Hot Wheels, right? He is threatening to file felonies against the Democrat lawmakers for bribery, and then he's going to try to remove them from office. The Republicans just don't like the Democrats. They don't like to work well with others. They just vote on the measure without them. It makes no fucking sense. Over 50 lawmakers have arrest warrants out against them. Over 50 fucking lawmakers in Texas have arrest warrants out against them. And then he's trying to say it's bribery because, they had some money, they used it for fundraiser, somebody gave them $1 or some shit to get, the fuck up out of Dodge. They drove to Illinois. All these politicians are getting money. If you're going to go after motherfuckers for bribery because of donations, that's exciting. Because it is bullshit that the donor class has so much goddamn power. The governor of Texas, he's got like fucking $300 million or some shit. He made $20 million, in 2023, $20 million in 2022, and he's over, a 30-year span since 1995. He's been able to raise like fucking a shit ton of money. I forget what the number was, like $350 million or some shit. Yeah, $350 million. So if you want to arrest somebody for bribery, Greg Abbott, you can start with yourself. Arrest yourself for bribery. You've taken over $350 million fucking dollars from the donor class. You're not doing what the people of Texas want. You're not doing anything constitutional. You're doing what the fucking the ultra rich of yours. He even got like big ass fucking goddamn loan from somebody who wants school voucher. So one fucking guy was able to give him like fucking millions and millions of dollars. So if he wants to go after them for bribery, in the U.S. Constitution, you will get kicked out of office for high crimes and misdemeanors, treason, and bribery. It makes no fucking sense. It's insane that so much money is actually put into the coffers of these political campaigns, and we're going to pretend that's not bribery? Get the fuck out of here. How's that not bribery? Well, they paid my PAC and they got me elected. Oh, okay, so they don't feel compelled whatsoever to do what the donor class wants, right? They want to make sure that the people of Texas actually gets the things that they need. That's what it is. It's not just the fucking wealthy. That's not what they're doing. So this is an erosion of the rule of law. An arrest warrant, this is an arrest warrant. There's people out there that don't really understand what the fuck is going on, because you got bench warrants, and then you have, this is a civil warrant, right? A civil warrant. So they made this shit up. They made this shit up because of the House Rule number 5. And now there's civil arrest warrants. And they're doing it to cheat for gerrymandering, okay? So they're against democracy. They're not saying, hey, Democrats, you need to come to the House because we care about democracy and we want you to vote. They're saying, no, fucking sit in this chair while we vote against everything that you fucking believe. No, sit in this chair while we vote against, having fair districts. Why draw up the district in a fair way? We want to get Al Green and Jasmine Crockett out of there. We want to be able to cheat. That way, draw the districts in a real funky way. Put all the Democrats in one district so they'll win their one seat, but then do all the other districts so that way the Republicans get their seat. And I guess where the rubber meets the road will actually, what is the redistricting, how are they actually going to redistrict the thing? Typically, it's during census years. This is 2025. The census years, 5 years past or 5 years away. So it's a bullshit arrest warrant. It's a civil arrest warrant. The arrest warrant is just going to get them to sit in the damn house to vote against their interests. So it doesn't make any sense for Democrats to actually fucking do that. Do I have anything else to say? This has been getting a lot of media attention, and rightfully so. You have Jasmine Crockett was, trending for a while. And then tie this all to, Israel. Israel, they went ahead and killed these twins, Saba and Sama. So twin girls, looks like they're, 5 or 6 years old. Well, Israel went ahead and killed the shit out of them. Epstein, so they're child abusers, child fucking molesters, they're child fucking killers. They just don't give a shit about children. They don't give a shit about people. And that which they do to the people of other country, don't think they're not going to do the same shit to you. Here's a meme of Jesus saying, I never thought I'd actually have to say this, but bombing and starving children is a bad thing, okay? Stupid ass fucking wicked motherfuckers. Thomas Massey from the 4th Congressional District of Kentucky proposes a ban on dual citizenship for lawmakers. So you get to be both an Israeli citizen and an American citizen, but no other country gets that fucking gift. Israel just announced that they're going to occupy all of Gaza. They've been genocidal motherfuckers the entire goddamn time. If they're able to kill Palestine, if Palestine dies, which would be the majority of the people, they've already killed a quarter of the people. So if they kill, another 600 fucking thousand, if they're able to displace them and force, migration, we need to do something a lot, more. We need to fucking stand the fuck up because they don't know right from wrong. This isn't America first. It's America last. It's Israel first, and it's Joe Biden 2.0. This is all the same shit. It's humiliating for Americans. It's supposed to be a free country, and we're being ruled by a foreign country like this? That's fucking disgusting. So many children, pictures of bloody children. Here's 4 kids. Richard Medhurst just posted, 5 kids that are all dead, bloodied up. What the fuck did they do? What was their goddamn crime? If your presidency can be destroyed by releasing the Epstein files, it deserves to be destroyed by releasing the Epstein files. So let's get back to this gerrymandering shit in Texas. If you're like, oh me, oh my, you can't just walk out of the damn thing and then, not do the vote. That's what they did with the Epstein files. They were going to do a vote for the Epstein files, and they just went the fuck, got the fuck up out of Dodge. That's what the House fucking speaker, that fucking guy, Mike Johnson, he goes and, cries at the Welling Wall or some shit. We can't vote to release the Epstein files. No, because they got dirt on Donald, and therefore he has to do Israel's bidding. So, Rod Welsh, you're going to have to travel all over America and arrest all these Democrat lawmakers, and you're going to have to do it in a way that's not going to cause any attention or media furor. This is just an escalation beyond all redemption. This is so fucking crazy. They'd rather do all this crazy shit instead of just outright be the fucking criminals that you are. Just go in there and vote for the shit that you want. Say you're against fucking democracy. You're against even a 2-party system. You want just a 1-party fascist system. For Greg Abbott, old Hot Wheels, to actually force the Democrats to vote on a bill that's going to fuck over, Texas. They're forcing the Democrats to sit in a chair while they fucking cheat right in front of them. No, you're going to sit in that chair while we vote your district out. Oh, okay. So why would the Democrats do that? Why the fuck would the Democrats do that? And then the ultimate crime is they don't want to sit in a chair. They don't want to sit in a fucking chair, so now you're going to talk about felony charges and you're going to talk about goddamn civil arrest warrants? I thought the American Civil War would have been around some issues, Maybe legalization of marijuana, maybe the genocide of Palestine, maybe to help with the homelessness. You know, what the fuck? How come we got so many homeless? We're supposed to be the richest country in the world, but we got homeless people in every goddamn city, every town, every hamlet, every holler. So this is crazy. This is bullshit, and I don't know how this fucking thing. How do you solve this thing? Because it just seems like if both sides are just going to continue to escalate the damn thing, I would hate to think that this gerrymandering shit in fucking Texas will lead to a civil war. But they don't give a fuck, right? Texas, they want to defend slavery, so that's why they stole Texas away from the Mexicans. I mean, they've been a bunch of fucking goddamn colonizing, fucking settler, fucking anti-Native American pieces of shit since the very beginning. Pro-slavery, anti-Native American pieces of shit from the very beginning. So, free Palestine.